everyone, welcome on Direct Decoder. In this video, we are going to discuss function closures. In last session, we saw what is functions and how to write functions in Go. So before jumping to function closures, let's discuss a key functionality of functions that we have in Golang. That we can use functions as a data type in Go. We can assign any function to a variable, or we can pass as an argument to a function, or we can return a function from another function as a return type. So most of the functionality that we are performing with a string or integer type of the variable, we can do that in functions as well. Let's see how we can use the function as a data type. So here I have written an anonymous function. Now what is anonymous function? Any function that doesn't have any name is called anonymous function. So here, as func keyword is being used to declare a function in Go, I have used func keyword, and without giving any name, I have used parenthesis. And as this function is returning an integer value, so I have mentioned int here. I will print the value of a. So here the value of a is this. Now what is this? This is a function because the value of a is function. In the next line, I am trying to print the type of value a. Now the type of a is function that we have already seen here. In the third line, we are trying to get the value that is being written by a function. Here I will call a so that this anonymous function is being called. So here we'll see value returned by a is 1. In this way, we can assign any function to a variable. In this code, I am trying to return a function from this function external. So I have created a function external, and this function is returning a function as a return type. So as per syntax, we write the return type here. This internal function again returning an integer value. So that's why I have given int here. Now there is one thing, whenever we are trying to use any function as a data type, we will use it as anonymous function. As I am returning a function here, I have declared an anonymous function with func that is returning an integer value. So I have written integer and it is returning a value 1. At bottom of the code, I am calling this external function. So I'll say function fmt.println after calling function. Yeah. So after calling function, you will see that it is not printing anything. It is not getting any value returned. For more clarity, I will print the things here. So what we are getting here is a function. We are getting a function here. We have called an external function, and as this external function returns a function, so that's why, but we are getting a function here. If I want to get this value, I need to call this returned function again. After calling this return function, I'll get the value 1. This is the features we have of functions in Go, that we can use functions as a data type. Now coming to the function closures. Function closure is a anonymous function, is a kind of anonymous function that refers a variable which is defined outside of its scope. So what I said that closures is an anonymous function. We can say that this is an anonymous function that refers a variable. So I will take a variable here, or I will return the value of a variable counter that is defined outside of its scope. So the scope of this function is this. I will define this counter variable out of its scope. That means here I can define, I have given the value 0 to this counter variable. Or within this function, I will change the value of this counter variable. I will increase the value. So in this function, this is in this anonymous function, I am referring the counter variable that is being defined outside of its scope. And yes, it becomes the function closer. So function closer is an anonymous function. This is an anonymous function that refers a variable. This is referring a counter variable which is being defined outside of its scope. So we have defined the variable counter at line number 6, and out scope of this function starts from line number 7. Now the functionality would remain same. If I will call this external function, it will give a function. Now to get the value of this counter variable, I need to call the function that is being written by the external function. So this is function closer. Explain that function closer is an anonymous function that refers a variable which is being defined outside of its scope. I hope now you will be able to understand what is function closures in Go. In next video, we'll discuss defer keyword. So stay tuned. Thank you.